Thursday, April 15. Welcome to CGN News. Haiti's Prime Minister Joseph Jout announced early Wednesday that he has resigned as the country faces a spike in killings and kidnappings and prepares for an upcoming general election later this year. Jout, who served as Prime Minister since March 2020, did not provide an explanation for his resignation, but President Jovenel Moïse said a new Prime Minister had been appointed. Jout had previously tried to submit his resignation, but Moïse had rejected it at the time. Haiti has been plagued by insecurity, natural disaster, and the coronavirus pandemic. Ongoing volcanic eruptions have displaced about 20% of people in St Vincent, a UN official said Wednesday, while warning of a growing humanitarian crisis. Between 16,000 to 20,000 people were evacuated before Volcano first erupted on Friday. Didier Trabuc, UN resident coordinator, said about 6,000 evacuees are considered most vulnerable and an estimated 20,000 people could be at risk of food insecurity. Some 4,000 people are housed in government shelters, while others are at hotels or with relatives, officials said. Trabuc noted that many shelters are lacking basic services, including drinking water. Prime Minister of St Vincent, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, on Wednesday urged people to leave the red zone area as the volcano continues to erupt. Gonsalves, speaking on the state-owned NBC radio, said residents in the area within the volcano were still refusing to leave, even as Coast Guard vessels and vehicles were dispatched to get them out. Since the evacuation order was given last Friday, the Coast Guard has made at least 5 trips. He told listeners that police have stepped up surveillance after 2 people were arrested in the red zone area, having arrived there by boat in a bid to rob the houses of persons who had evacuated. A historic court order for a former United Nations peacekeeper to pay child support for a daughter he fathered while stationed in Haiti raises hopes for dozens of other mothers seeking similar claims worldwide. A judge in Haiti ordered an Uruguayan peacekeeper to pay $4,320 monthly in child support to a woman he impregnated, according to a ruling seen by the Thomson Reuters Foundation. The ruling is part of a 3-year legal battle by 10 Haitian women who filed claims to force men from the UN Stabilization Mission in Haiti, which ended in 2017, to contribute to the upbringing of their children. The human rights group, which has given legal support to the women since 2017, said it was a crucial step towards justice. Reputed gangster Christopher Dogpaw Linton has had his conviction thrown out by the Court of Appeal. His co-convict, Micah Allen, was also freed. Both men were convicted in 2013 and were sentenced to 15 years in prison for illegal possession of firearm and 15 years for shooting with intent. They were accused of shooting at 2 policemen in a service vehicle along Tavern Drive, St Andrew, in April 2010. The men denied the allegations at their trial but were found guilty. They subsequently filed an appeal, and in a verbal decision handed down Thursday, the Court of Appeal said the identification evidence was unreliable. Jamaica's Ministry of Health continues to be criticized for not offering more options for the treatment of COVID-19, especially with some Jamaicans still not convinced about the safety of vaccines. There is a push for the use of Ivermectin, despite warnings from the World Health Organization against its use. Financial analyst Dennis Chung says while the Health Ministry declared it is not in a position to recommend the drug, it is being used in the country. Chung says people who have had COVID-19 told him they used it and within 2 days they were okay. Responding to questions from opposition MPs in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness indicated that applications were open for the importation and use of Ivermectin. George Floyd's death should have been classified as, quote, undetermined, an expert has explained in the murder trial of former U.S. police officer Derek Chauvin. Forensic pathologist David Fowler told the court in Minnesota that the cause of Floyd's death was not clear. Fowler said in his view, drug use, heart disease, and other factors contributed to Floyd's death. He was a key witness for the defense of Chauvin, 45, who was filmed kneeling on Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes. Chauvin's defense team is trying to contradict earlier expert testimony that Floyd died from lack of oxygen during his arrest in Minneapolis, Minnesota last May. Prosecutors argue that Floyd died of asphyxia. A U.S. white former police officer who shot a black motorist in Minnesota has been charged with second-degree manslaughter, prosecutors say. Kim Potter was arrested and later released on $100,000 bail. Police say Potter shot Dante Wright accidentally, having mistakenly drawn her gun instead of her taser. The Wright family's lawyer, Ben Crump, said the killing was, quote, an intentional, deliberate, and unlawful use of force, end quote. Both Potter and local police chief Tim Gannon have resigned. The killing has sparked clashes between police and protesters. And finally, a video of dancers twerking in hot pants at an Australian military event has sent the country into a spin. The scene went viral when it emerged on Wednesday, but the music video-style choreography featuring thumps, thrusts, and butt shakes also came under attack. Conservative lawmakers led the chorus of those calling it inappropriate. The event gained attention after an ABC reporter shared a video on Twitter which spliced shots of the woman's energetic gyrations with stone-faced reactions of attending military leaders. This framing set off a viral firestorm, but on Thursday it emerged the footage had been wrongly edited, and the ABC later issued an apology. The Navy said none of the officials or dignitaries had seen the performances, as it had occurred before they arrived. However, the Navy has not explained why the dancers were hired. That's it for CGN News. I'm Scott Wilson. Thanks for watching.